named Diddley had a dream so big it made him feel all giddy. He loved UFC, the fights and the thrills, so he started a podcast to share all the chills. Oh, Diddley's on the mic with the final strike, talking UFC, NFTs all night. From the octagon to the blockchain, he's got the hype. Tune in, listen up, it's the final strike. Fights, every punch and kick, analyze the moves, every trick and flick, comparing each fighter, their strengths and flaws. Diddley's insights would leave you in awe. Oh, Diddley's on the mic with the final strike, talking UFC, NFTs all night. From the octagon to the blockchain, he's got the hype. Tune in, listen up, it's the final strike. Down the fights, every punch and kick, analyze the moves, every trick and flick, comparing each fighter, their strengths and flaws. Diddley's insights will leave you in awe. Oh, Diddley's on the mic with the final strike, talking UFC, NFTs all night. From the octagon to the blockchain, he's got the hype. Tune in, listen up, it's the final strike. NFTs and fighters, a digital blend. Diddley's got the scoop, he's always on trend. From rare collectibles to the latest bout, the Final Strike podcast, there's never a doubt. From afar they gather around for Diddley's insights, the best in town. With every episode his fame would grow. The Final Strike podcast, the ultimate show. Even when the market's tough and times are lean, Diddley's resilience shines, he's always keen. Through highs and lows he stands his ground. In the world of UFC he's renowned. Oh, Diddley's on the mic with the final strike, talking UFC, NFTs all night. From the octagon to the blockchain, he's got the hype. Tune in, listen up, it's the final strike. Podcast dream, bringing UFC and NFTs to the mainstream. With every word he lights up the night. The Final Strike podcast shining so bright.
What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday. Happy UFC 314 Miami. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. I can already feel it. We've been needing a good card on paper. This one looks pretty nasty. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Shout out to everybody for popping in this fine morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you're at. Don't forget to hit a thumbs up on the video. We do have 2 giveaways today. $50 UFC store gift card starting right now. Get your TFSPs in the chat. And then we will run the pay-per-view code a little bit after that. So thanks again, everybody, for hopping on. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up on the video. And we're going to go through the whole fight card after we get into strike. So it's gonna be a good one. So let's get into this challenge that hit us this week. And I left the quote right here on the screen because I liked it. It was a good line, bro. It was an amazing line at the press conference by Mr. Bryce Mitchell. Put a lot of dogs down. One thing they all have in common: they all squeal before they die. Man, Bryce was locked in. Baby. I liked it. So thank you, everybody, for popping in. TFSP's coming through. What up, RRX? What we got? Bryce is cold. Yeah, that's right. Everybody forgets the guy be dropping bars. So he could He could shake it up in the verbal warfare for sure. And the dude doesn't even speak English, so it's pretty sick. Pretty sick. Got to give it to him. It was a golden press conference. If you haven't watched it, definitely go back and watch it. So let's get into this challenge. So everybody's been waiting for a nice, tough, hard challenge to come about. We were told that UFC 314 was the week that they would start back up, and here we are with this multi-challenge event. 2 rewards. The first challenge is going to be a fan-voted moment, and the second one is going to be Sean Woodson, a knockout of Padilla at Covington versus Buckley in Tampa last year. So it's going to be it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. So let's get into the first one real quick here. And I always want to give a shout out, especially now, to Flovana. They be hooking us up with making the challenges a lot easier to read than these, 6-page documents we get on a weekly basis, it seems like. So challenge number 1. In order to complete this, you will have to complete all 3 steps. All right. And I agree with my friend Glode here. Medium difficulty. And not perfect, but we definitely get some help for sure. Yeah, it's definitely has some flaws for sure. Definitely has some flaws. I asked about some of the flaws yesterday, but was ignored. So we'll talk about them here. And so the first part of the challenge is results based. So a lot of us kind of like that, where you really won't know what you have to do until the fights actually go down tonight. So we got right off the bat, and you have to complete all 3 steps here to complete this challenge. So right off the bat, there's your main event: Volkanovski rear, Lopez rear. Depending on how the fight goes, whoever loses, you will have to burn that moment. Whoever wins, you'll have to hold the moment. No contest, draw, or canceled bout. Obviously, we always collect those. So, yeah, so could be interesting here if Lopez loses. His moment's a little pricey there. So, and if it's got to get burned, could be interesting. Next up, we got Chandler versus Patty. They are fighting each other as well. Same situation with the 2 we just talked about. One will have to be burned. One will have to be collected. Patty is up there, $55. Chandler, $25. Next up, Bryce Mitchell versus Lord Jean Silva. So Silva's is uncommon, so it shouldn't be too bad on the burn side. But Bryce's fandom is at $21. So if he loses, could get a little hairy. And we got Verna and Jan, about $6 to $10 each for the rears. And then we got Chase Hooper and Jim Miller. So all these folks are fighting each other. So if the fights all go to the end, we get winners. Definitely going to have to hold or collect. So 5 will be held, 5 will be burned, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes based on how those fights shape up tonight. But could get a little pricey. Could get a little pricey depending on who ends up losing tonight. So that's the first step. Got to wait and see really how these fights go down. Step number 2. This is the step that was kind of weird to me. Felt really odd with having paths here. So this step gets completed if you have either these 2 Yairs, these 2 Jim Millers, or these 2 Iges. I mean, kind of weird to just do the 2. why not either do all 6 or because some of these other guys got multiple moments too. Could have just had collect them all, but I don't know. It was weird. It was a weird kind of step 2 thingy going on. I don't even really know what to call it, but it's kind of weird. Kind of weird. But that's step 2. And then step 3, you have to burn all these moments regardless of what happens up here. Step 3, you got the Volk fandom. Probably a bottleneck, but it's at $7. I don't think anything else is that high or close to it. 3 on Diego, 2 on Chandler, 4 on Petty. Jan is 4, and Bryce is 2. So not too bad on the burns. Then we get to the champ passes. Champ passes. Here we go. So if you have a Volkanovski champ, congratulations. You don't got to burn for step 1. You are good to go. If you have a McGregor champion, you have completed the collection portion, but you will have to still burn if you have a McGregor champion. If you have a Jose Aldo champ, you automatically complete step 3. So you don't have to burn those guys if you have the Aldo, but you'll definitely have to be burning and collecting whatever happens tonight after the fights. With that said, I thought we could have maybe had a couple different champ passes, or at least swap one of these guys out for either Max or Ilya. Max being somebody who fought Volk 3 times at featherweight. A lot of history there. And Ilya, whose belt they are literally fighting for, who vacated it. So it's kind of interesting that they didn't use those. They went with Connor. And although I get featherweight GOAT, get all that noise for sure, but hasn't fought featherweight in a hot minute, and neither has Connor. So, I mean, and we're voting on a recent moment, which is Diego Lopez's decision versus Ortega, or Reyes's KO versus Weidman. And then also added to this, if any main card fight except the main event ends with a finish, that finish will be automatically added to the fan vote, except for Yair, who already has a Series 2 Epic. So, moment will be minted to a minimum edition size of 100. We got the challenge pulled up here on Flovana. So this part's going to get kind of changed up a little bit once the fights end, but kind of gives you an idea on what the cost to complete is, you know, having all those moments. And yeah, shout out to Flovana. And then, yeah, this bonus 10 Series 2 rare moments of the winning fighter at UFC 314's main event. Lopez or Volkanovski will be distributed randomly to challenge completers. Each challenge completion will count as one entry into the draw. So 10 extra rares going into the pot. So we shall see. We shall see how it goes. But let's see what the folks are saying. Diego or bust. There's also a bonus. Yes, the bonus. Yes. Hoping we get the choice. It could happen. Could definitely happen, bro. Could definitely happen. So that's challenge number 1. Challenge number 2 Soon as I saw 6 paths to choose, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And they added this: if you complete step 2 in challenge number 1, you qualify for either path A, B, or C. So pretty much path A, B, and C is literally step 2. A, B, and C. So if you collect these, you automatically get this. And then this is like kind of where you want to start reading. And you got Reyes, Olashashek, Verna, and Trayshawn Gore over here. So if you have one of each of those, you get a completion. If you burn so one of each, you got to burn Hooper and Rodriguez, you get one. And then if you have the Volk champ, you get a pass. I mean, they could have thrown the Ilya or Max down here even, if they wanted to. But this is going to be Shad Woodson's KO of Padilla, minted to an uncommon. And we got it right here for the homies. So I've completed it twice or 5 times so far. It says I can complete it a couple more times if I burn, right? But I ain't planning on burning. 5's enough for me. 5's enough for me. So that's the challenge this week. Not bad. Like I said, a couple things I would have liked to see different, or this whole thing right here, I think could have been. I mean, you copy and pasted literally step 1 from one challenge to the other. I think you could have put a little bit more thought into that personally, but that's just me. That's just me. But that's that on the challenge. Ends on the usual. So let's see what we got. Is this Bryce's first fight since getting obliterated by Josh Emmett? I might be, actually. It might be. It might be. It might be. I was going to burn for a couple extras, but yeah, there you go. There you go, brother. You're chilling. You're chilling. Thoughts: Volk by decision, Patty by decision, Bryce by decision. I mean, it could happen. It could happen. Big question mark on that I have with Patty 5 rounds. Big question mark there. Because that is a 5-round fight. And I think that Mitchell Silva fight ends inside the distance. One of them wins it inside the distance, personally. But it could happen, bro. It could happen. Yeah, that's right. That's right. He fought Kron Gracie, but butt scooting. The butt scooting Kron Gracie. I don't know. I don't know. Not the best opposition there. But with that said, recent rewards. So we ended up getting some new moments. We got surprised with those champ packs, and quarterly rewards came so quickly. So all these new moments got dropped to everybody's wallets if you were lucky enough to get them. The Werdum Epic, Dariush Rare, Cop Rare, Swanson Rare, and then the Albazi, Bautista, Phillips, and Gazeeves. So all those new moments were minted and distributed in those recent reward packs. The Werdum Epic's not doing too hot. As like one of the best moments that came out of that drop. I think just because the challenge, maybe people are just trying to dump and get some dapper just in case they gotta buy or replace some of these moments here. But yeah, it's gonna be It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see. This one's pretty good on the mint. 312 already out there. 138 still in packs, but 312 circulating. Should probably keep the price relatively low unless it sees some burn action. You know what I'm saying? So, but other than that, the other moments were pretty much, they kind of fell into the standard floor prices, like the Cub, $6. Manel, I think 6. Benil, 6. Yeah, they're all pretty much at that same, floor. Let's see, Gaziv, $3. Albazi, $2. Yeah, so $2-3 on the uncommons. Nothing crazy. Looks like they got distributed, or at least, more of them got out to people's wallets that are active than inactive, it looks like now, with these recent packs. So, yep, that's that on those rewards. We are still waiting on some outstanding rewards. Bobby Green's Epic, Bruno Ferreira's Common, Tainara and McKinney from the last pay-per-view, I think it was. But yeah, all those moments are still in the hopper, and we are waiting for those to get distributed. With that said, we move on from UFC Strike right into the fight card. But first, let's run this $50 UFC store gift card. Get your TFSPs in the chat. Last call. We're going to run this bad boy and get it cracking. Get it cracking on this fight card. Should be good. We're going to go through every fight, first to the last one. So, good luck, everybody. I'll give it a couple more seconds here before we run it. 3, 2, 1. Good luck. $50 holler going to Jesse. Congratulations. DM me on Discord so I can get you that code, brother. Congrats. Now let's tee up this pay-per-view code. We'll run it at the end of the show. Get your 314s in the chat. 314s in the chat. Get your 314s in the chat. Pay-per-view code's going to run at the end of the show. It's a pay-per-view code for ESPN Plus in the United States. So, good luck. UFC 314, Volkanovski versus Lopez. Here we go. Starting at the bottom with the early prelims. They start at, I think, 5 o'clock for me. Let's see what the times are here. Yep, 5 o'clock for me, which is Central Time. So 6 p.m. Eastern they start. Should be bangers, man. I'm excited. I think the card is actually, I think it's constructed pretty well too. They got like a nice banger like in each level of as the card progresses. So start off with some women's MMA. Nora Cornole versus Haley Cowan. Haley, I think, is making her UFC debut, coming off the Contender Series. Or no, second fight. Hasn't fought in 2 years. Yes. Hasn't fought in 2 years, coming off a loss to Jamie Lynn Horth. Going up against Nora Cornole, who has fought some stiff competition. She did miss weight yesterday, but I will say she's probably the better MMA fighter all around wherever the fight goes. Definitely more of a Muay Thai fighter, but even if it goes to the ground, She can hold her own down there. Missed weight, but I still think she probably gets it done. However she wants. As you can see, she got some. I mean, couple. Edwards is known in the division. Cavalcanti's way bigger than her. I think she either went up a weight class on that one or something like that, but probably decision, I'm guessing. I don't think a finish is happening, but I think Cornolet does enough to get the victory wherever the fight goes. So I'm rolling with the favorite in the first fight of the night. Next up, we got Trayshawn Gore versus Marco Tulio. Pretty interesting one here. On paper, you'll say that Tulio's, he's got almost double the fights that Gore has. Gore's only had 8 MMA fights to Tulio's 14. He's got more experience in there. He's more technical for sure. Gore probably is going to need to do a lot of wrestling, but Tulio's pretty good with his takedown defense. Might be a little tougher for Gore to get him down. Plus, Gore's he kind of gasses out too. I've seen him gas out a few times. So if he can't really, I think if he can't get Tulio out of there early, like hit him with something big or do something crazy, I think Tulio's probably gonna take this fight. Gore's a plus 400. His KO is plus 1300. There's nothing wrong with a little sprinkle there if you're feeling. I mean, I probably wouldn't hit the money line because as the fight goes longer, if it does go longer, I definitely see this guy taking it for sure. But if you want to sprinkle a little something, that KO is could happen. No way, this guy right here. No way Tulio loses a dump truck in his screen. Hey, got a point there, brother. You got a point there, my man. All right. So I think Tulio is gonna get it done though. I do think Tulio is gonna get it done. He's too technical, especially defensively. He's pretty defensively sound. Probably be able to avoid anything big coming his way from Gore. And that gas tank, I think, will get tested, and that's it. That's it. Next up, we got Sumaderji versus Mitch Raposo. This is your typical striker versus grappler. So Mitch Raposo, Ultimate Fighter guy. He hasn't had too much success since, I know he lost his last fight, and he lost the show too, but he lost a split decision to Lima. He's a tough kid, but not too much damage coming back from him. He does chain wrestle a lot. Might be a little bit harder because he's usually fighting in the apex or the smaller octagons versus the actual pay-per-view canvas. So might give Sumaderji a little bit more space to work with. Definitely more battle tested. Fought a lot more guys. Also fought some pretty decent grapplers and held his own as well. Like his last fight, I think, was against Energy. Yeah, it was against Energy. He lost to Energy. And I mean, Energy was grappling and wrestling him, but he was making it tough. He was making it tough. He wasn't accepting position. And I remember he was trying to get some subbies as he was, getting wrestled. So, he's probably been practicing too. Vet. It's pretty close on the odds. I don't think. What do we got here? Fight to go the distance? No. So they definitely think this is going the distance. Sumaderji by KO's 325 on the plus side. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Because if Mitch is having trouble taking him down, which I think he probably will have trouble taking him down or holding him down at least, especially if this guy's going to threaten subbies like he did against Energy. I think it'll make Mitch think twice when he's down there, or make him a little bit hesitant, or maybe falls into a trap. What's this guy's sub is plus 1,500, so I don't know. His, he's got some good names here. Chanel, Elliott, Johnson. So it's, me. But he is on a 3-fight skid, all against some tough guys. So I don't know if Mitch is on that same level. Big height and reach advantage for him. Yeah, I think Sumaderji gets it done. Gets back in the win column. Next up, Cedriques Dumas versus Michel Oleszejczyk. Probably butchered it, but it's my best Polish pronunciation of his last name. My apologies, bro. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting one. This guy's always got some pretty good reach advantage in the division. Dumas, 6'2". He's got a almost 5-inch reach advantage against our boy here, who is actually one of the newest members of the Fighting Nerds team. You will see Caio Boralho in this man's corner. He's been training with the Fighting Nerds. So, will their juice rub off on him in this fight? They do feel that he's the favorite. I mean, I think he's definitely faced some tougher guys for sure. Some tough competition. Fought at light heavyweight as well. And also fought bigger guys and had success knocking people out like Chidi Bang. But has lost to some other dudes. Caio, Pereira, Holland, Mago, Ashara, Bullet. Some tough guys, right? I think everybody thought he got robbed maybe his last fight against Shara Bullet. So he might be coming out to make a statement here. And he switched camps as well. So let's see if that camp switch really elevates his level to that, that next layer to start maybe getting a crack at that top 15 type of talent in the UFC, maybe if he gets a big win here. KO for both the guys, plus 425 for Dumas, 145 for Oleszejczyk. I do not think the fight is going to go the distance, and I agree with them. I think somebody's probably going to get caught. Got a lot more volume coming from Michel. So, and that camp switch, I think, is probably going to help him out too. So I think, Fighting Nerds get their first win of the night in the early prelims, guys. The last early prelim of the day. So what am I rolling with? I got no dogs. I got no dogs on the earlies. No dogs on the earlies. I'm rolling with favorites. Next up, this is when it gets interesting. So we got Darren Elkins versus Julian Erosa to start off the main prelims here. Juicy J. Think the last time he fought, he got that subby that we called. It was like a plus 12, plus 15 hundo. Definitely loves to shoot the gilly always. But Elkins is definitely a battle-tested vet. He's been in all kinds of wars, fights, standing on the ground. Dude's pretty good all around. I think if Juicy J and Elkins, he definitely does get hurt a lot in all his fights for sure. He'll get cracked, but then he'll always rally, bro. He'll always rally. And he did it his last couple fights. Pineda cracked him, Brown cracked him. But then he just makes it a dog fight, and 9 times out of 10, look, he wins these dog fights, bro, unless he gets KO'd. But he's a pretty heavy heavy dog. But I think he could probably win this, bro. I think he could probably win this, even by points, you know? If Juicy J doesn't get him out of there early. Which I think, both their ages, I don't think anything too crazy is going to be coming. You got more volume coming from Juicy J, but Elkin's going to mix in the wrestling. You just got to watch out for that Gilly, but he's been around the block long enough. I think he knows how to, avoid that. I'm going to roll with Elkins. To get the job done here. Maybe decision victory dogs it out. Elkins is my pick. Next up, Jim Miller versus Chase Hooper. How about it, guys? How about it? They just called Chase Hooper to fight all the 40-year-olds. Like, hey, man, we need you to fight Clay Guida. Hey, man, we need you to fight Jim Miller. You're the youngest, one of the youngest dudes on the roster. We want you to fight these guys. Crazy age difference. 41 and 25 years old. After moving up to lightweight, Chase Hooper has been pretty good, man. He's been looking real good. He's fast. Grappling's always good with him, but his striking was really impressive his last time out, even though it was against Clay. I mean, he looked really good, man. He looked really good, especially, from when we first kind of seen him enter the scene. Come a long way. He's come a long way. And he's got a pretty significant height and reach advantage here. It's going to be, if Jim Miller does not knock him out early in this fight, that's the only way Jim Miller wins this. If Jim Miller knocks him out early, it's a plus 1,200. I mean, if you pick the round, it's probably only going to happen in the first round if it does happen. But plus 1,200 is pretty nice in itself. But shit, he's going to have to knock him out early. And if he doesn't knock him out early, the pressure that Hooper's going to put on him, the grappling, the chain wrestling, the up and down, it's going to wear him out, bro. And I'm thinking Hooper TKO ground and pound second or third round. That's my prediction on this one. You can only get lucky so many times, bro. He's gotten a couple subs, but he ain't subbing Hooper. That's for damn sure. He ain't subbing Hooper. So he's got to catch him with a power shot and put him out cold. And I don't think he's going to be able to do it. But God bless him, man. 38 and 18 on the stat line. Crazy numbers. But I'm rolling with Hooper, and like I said, I think he probably wears him out by the second, third round, finishes him. KO, TKO, ground and pound. That's my decision on that one. 2 more fights on the prelims, and then we get into the main card. Don't forget to get your 314s in the chat. Give me a thumbs up on the video. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Almost there. Yan Xiaonian versus Verna. Big Verna. Everybody's favorite. Verna Jandiroba. One of my favorites for sure. Where's my guy Darth Barth? Where's my guy Darth Barth? And you know what? Let me get a quick poll here going for the main event. Who wins the featherweight championship Alexander Volkanovski or Diego Lopez. We'll start that up and let it run. See what the general consensus is by the end of the show. There's the eyes. The eyes are always watching. That's right, baby. Staring through your soul. Staring through your soul. Not much here. Striker versus grappler, right? Don't know how much Yan Xiaonan has put into the gym in the grappling sense as of late. She did do pretty decent against Ricci in that fight, but I think Verna's a way better and she's way bigger than Ricci, grappler for sure, and a way more dominant. So shit. It's going to be tough for Yan. I mean, we've seen Wei Li kind of have her way with her on the ground. Verna by sub is plus money. Might be a nice one. But all the odds makers do think this is probably going to go to decision. And Verna probably wins by controlled time, which is what my guess is as well, because we have seen lesser grapplers hold Yan down for lengths of time. So I think the bigger, stronger Verna probably takes care of business. Verna by decision. Verna by decision. And then our main prelim of the evening. Dan Ige versus Sean Woodson. Big fight here. Big fight here for Woodson. Big test. Step up in competition. Toughest guy he's probably ever fought, for sure, by far. Ige's battle tested, been in the division for a long time. Has fought a lot of tough guys. Lerone Murphy, Diego Lopez went the distance with those guys. Lost to Bryce, but I mean he's fought some tough dudes, bro. He's fought some tough competition. So this is a big test for Woodson. Big test for Woodson. And yes, the memes are hilarious about this fight, how they stretched out his legs and stuff. Too funny. Too funny. Yeah, I think Ige, I mean, I hate to say it, bro. I really hate to say it. I love Woodson, bro. He's a great, nice dude. Seen him fight 3 times. 3 times. I've seen him fight 3 freaking times live. Sandhagen versus Font, Luis Nascimento, and Covington versus Buckley. I've seen those 3 fights, and he's good, bro. He's good. He does tend to get cracked, but he'll rally back and stuff. But definitely was against lesser competition. I think, especially after the last fight against the last couple fights he's had. Ige might be coming out here to put on a statement, and hate to say it. I really hate to say it, but I think Ige might get it done. He just has to close that distance. It's gonna be tough, that reach, height and reach is tough, but Ige's fought some taller dudes for sure. Not as tall, Woodson's an anomaly in this division, 6'2", 78-inch reach. Absolutely crazy. So maybe he goes to try and catch some legs. Maybe he goes to, grapple a little bit. It's going to be an interesting fight, but I think that experience on Ige's side is going to be a big factor here. And he definitely has power that can wobble or knock out Woodson. So it's a tough one. I like Woodson a lot too. I really like him a lot, but I honestly, I think Ige is probably gonna get it done. I'm gonna roll with Dynamite Dan Ige to wrap up the prelims. Next up, main event time, pay-per-view time, baby. And I think pay-per-view is pretty stacked, guys. It's pretty stacked, I must say, from top to bottom. Some good ones. Nikita Krylov versus Dominic Reyes. Krylov making his UFC return after 2-3 years off? 2 years off? And he's fought some of the top guys, bro. And went the distance and lost against Ank, current champ. Lost by sub to Paul Craig. Shares that in common with Ank. But he's beaten Gustafsson. Tough though. That was Gustafsson's last fight or two out of the UFC. But Uzumir and Span. So he's fought some tough dudes, definitely. And he's going up against Reyes, coming off of his big couple wins against Jacoby and Anthony Smith. The Jacoby one's much nicer than the Smith one, especially post-Smith fight. He was talking about how Smith was telling him in the octagon, just hit me, bro. Just hit me, bro. I want to feel something. This is some weird shit. But yeah, tough fight. Especially Krylov's going to come out. He's somebody who likes to put the pressure on, throws some big haymakers, pretty accurate, mixes things up with the takedowns and the striking. I would say he's probably the better grappler than Dom, for sure. Dom's definitely the better counter striker, so you'll probably see Dom try and wait for a moment to snipe him. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I do know one thing. I do know that I think somebody's going to get knocked out. I think somebody's going to get finished. I don't think this fight's going to go the distance. They agree with me. Fight goes the distance? No. Minus 240. So, yeah, I think it's tough. It's tough because you got a couple different, a lot of people are on Krylov, right? Favoring him. But, dude, he's been out of the octagon for 2 years, man. Granted, he's fought some tough guys, but 2 years and 2 month layoff is no joke. A lot of people do also say, Reyes has been getting knocked out pretty bad. A little roll there. Bang, bang, bang. So some can argue as soon as his chin gets touched a little bit by Nikita, maybe he goes to sleep. But either way, whichever guy wins is probably by knockout, right? So you could do a little action on that and hedge yourself maybe, but I don't know, man. I don't know. 40 fights on Krylov's record. That's pretty substantial, and he's 2 years younger. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, I see it. I think I'm going to roll with Krylov. To get it done. Has Krylov ever been KO'd? He lost 9 times. Sub decisions. Sub. KO'd once 12 years ago. All right. Okay. I like Krylov's chances of standing up more than Reyes if somebody lands something. So I'm rolling Krylov by knockout. Next up, could be the people's main event. It might be the people's main event. Chandler and Patty are saying they're the people's main event, but I don't know, guys. That press conference, I think it's got the people thinking otherwise for sure. Sorry, Michael Chandler. But Bryce Mitchell versus Lord Silva. How about it? So, striker versus grappler. They're favoring Silva big time in this fight. They think he's probably gonna get. I mean, he's a minus 200 right now. I think the odds are actually higher. I think he was like a minus 250 at the start, and they kind of came down a little bit. People are betting Bryce after seeing, after seeing, the press conference and all that action and Bryce's demeanor, killing the dogs, all that crazy shit that he's talking about. But I don't know, man. It's a close one. I think another thing to note is Mr. Silva. I want to take a look here. He's been knocking people out for sure. He's been doing his damn thing. Went to the decision on the Contender Series. Decision. See, if he goes to decision, he might lose. He's only won one decision in his career on the amateurs, not on the amateurs, but some kind of Brazilian promotion back in the day. But he hasn't gone the distance in a while. Last time was against Kevin Vallejos, September 5th, and the Contenders Series. But who knows, man? Who knows? Because I know Bryce is probably going to test this guy's grappling for sure. He's probably going to have to catch Bryce with something nasty. He's probably going to have to catch him with something nasty. KO's plus 105 is nuts. I mean, Bryce is coming off of, he got subbed by Tapuria, but got knocked out by Josh. Kron Gracie was layup, I think, for him. Does have a win over Ige, who is a pretty tough puncher too, heavy puncher as well. So we'll see. There wasn't really too much, power or punching threat coming his way in that Kron Gracie fight. But with Silva, it's a completely different story. So you got a lot more volume coming from Silva. Not as accurate, but as you can see in the grappling sense, Bryce is going to be throwing. Bryce is bigger for sure. He's taller. Doesn't have too much of a reach advantage though, but he's definitely taller by 3 inches. And it's a tough one. It's a tough one for me. Tough one for me. Let's see what the chat's saying. Take out the Hitler love during press conference. 314's in the chat. What do you guys think? Silva or Mitchell? I don't know, man. It's a tough one. Everybody likes plus money, but shit. Silva's been looking like a killer. Them fighting nerds don't really lose. I'm sure this guy's grappling in the gym every day. They got some top high-level grapplers there. I'm just worried about his gas tank. If the fight goes past the second round, how does he handle, the chain wrestling, the grappling pressure? Because if he doesn't knock out Bryce early, I think, Mr. Brain Damage can hang in there. Mr. Brain Damage might be able to hang in there. I want to see Bryce get more brain damage, if I'm being honest. That's hilarious. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a tough one. But I think take a look here again. Malsick, Dober. Doctor stoppage with Dober. Bryce is definitely the toughest grappler he's fought. So it's a big test for Mr. Silva. Big test for Mr. Silva. I think with all these nerds in town fighting, they got the new nerd down here fighting. Yeah, I think The dogs are going to be barking. That's right, Chef. I think the nerds are going to take it. The nerds will take it. Maybe he gets a sick finish that we can vote on for the challenge, hopefully. But, I mean, Bryce could definitely, if Bryce can weather the storm, would I be shocked if Bryce wins by decision or late sub or something, you know? Absolutely not. But I don't know if he's going to be able to weather that storm, you know? Next up, Yair Rodriguez versus Pitbull, making his UFC debut. 37 years old, UFC debut. He's getting up there in age, man. He's getting up there in age. Yair, you know, definitely fought a lot of good guys. Top of the top. Creme de la creme. Emmett, Volk, Ortega twice, but he does tend to struggle with grapplers, you know. I know he said he's been in the lab practice and training for the grappling, but it's tough, bro. It's tough. It's tough because Pitbull is real good, very well rounded, good everywhere. You know, coming from Bellator, he's fought, you know, their best guys. So we'll see how he matches up against somebody like Yair. Been in the UFC for a while, crazy striker, but it's an interesting one. I mean, he's been around the block. Been around the block. He's got 40 plus fights on his record. He is getting up there in age, 37. But if he makes this a grappling match or just approaches it in such a way to just grapple the whole time, he'll probably win this fight, dude. He'll probably win this fight. And yeah, it depends on how he wants to come out. You know, does he want to come out and strike with Yair? Or does he want to do his damn thing as a, you know, OG Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner? But yeah, I think shit, man. Plus, there's a lot of emotions running high between Yair and our headliner, Diego Lopez, at that press conference yesterday. So I don't know. I don't know. Does that throw his focus off a little bit? They got Pitbull plus 650 on the KO. Yair plus 300. Fight to go the distance. It's pretty much a pick 'em there. It's a tough one to call. Tough one to call, but I agree. I agree. If he comes out and wants to, you know, throw Yair on the ground right away and try and get a sub, or, you know, just wear him out on the ground round one and then round two do his thing, I could see it happening. I could see it happening for sure. He's definitely a lot smaller though. Definitely a lot smaller. So it's gonna be tough trying to close that distance. A lot of kicks and spinning shit's gonna be coming his way from Yair. So yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. We kind of need Yair to win, though. We kind of need Yair to win to set up this Diego fight. But yeah, he definitely has a lot of miles for sure. Definitely has a lot of miles. 37 years old. Last fight was 1 year and some change ago. So, not too bad. Not too bad, but I think the level of competition is probably a little bit tougher. For sure. Yeah, I don't know. I think shit, man. I might have to go with mean, sure, everybody loves the plus money, but shit. I don't know, man. I don't know. That age and that significant height and reach disadvantage is throwing me off a little bit. Throwing me off a lot of bit. I think probably maybe Yair dances around this guy. Maybe, yeah, that was like 10 years ago, dude. He beat Chandler 10 years ago. Long time ago. Chandler's only has one win in the UFC, so it's not much to fucking clap about either. 2 wins, my bad. 2 wins. Tony Ferguson and Dan Hooker. But next up, yeah, I'm gonna roll with Yair. Think Yair's, yeah. Pitbull got to the UFC a little bit too late. If he got here 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I'd like his odds a little bit better. But I think Yair's gonna take care of business. Next up, the 5-round co-main event. Michael Chandler versus Paddy the Baddy. Nope. We did not talk about this fight yet, Glass Bro. About to right now. But definitely not going to happen. First minute for Paddy. Doubtful. Could be first minute for Chandler, but Scousers don't get knocked out, as Paddy says. Tell the tape. We got a 38-year-old Michael Chandler who has been on the shelf waiting for a hot minute. And then he fought Oliveira, got his ass beat. And now he's back to fight Paddy the Baddy. Yeah, the only thing that I'm really questionable on is the 5-round factor here for Paddy. Because nobody really seen the guy go 5 rounds. Probably hasn't gone 5 rounds since he was Cage Warriors, maybe. So it's been a hot minute since Paddy went 5 rounds. But we got a significant age discrepancy here. 38 years old to 30. Paddy's the bigger guy with taller. He's taller, got the reach on him. Same amount of volume coming at each other. We do know Paddy's always threatening the sub. So it's pretty much going to be Chandler trying to throw bombs and put Paddy's lights out early. Because if he doesn't put his lights out early, I think Paddy will start winning this fight as the minutes go on, because Chandler will start gassing like he usually does. But yeah, 38 years old, man. He's getting up there. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one. Chandler needs to get a knockout early for him to win this fight. The longer the fight goes on, I think the more it favors Paddy, and the less danger is coming from Chandler. Because that power is going to wear down as the fight wears on. I mean, he could catch him with a kick like he did against Tony. Tony was beating the shit out of him that whole fight almost. Damn near. On the scorecards, Tony was probably winning that fight. I'm almost positive Tony was winning that fight, and he caught him with that crazy kick at the end of the fight. So you just got to make sure Paddy doesn't make any bad IQ decisions as the fight goes on. But maybe Paddy goes out there to be like, hey, I'm going to grapple with this dude. I'm not going to give him a chance to hit me with a bomb. I'm going to put him out quick and sub him and try and get this title shot. Who knows? I don't see Paddy scoring good. If he doesn't get a first round knockout, he's going to have a serious problem. I don't know about that. Chandler's 38 years old. 38 years old. Statistics on fights like this where there's like a 7-year difference. What is it, like 74% goes to the younger fighter, 75%? They don't think it goes the distance because Chandler doesn't go 5 rounds. Chandler's huffing and puffing by the second round in all his fights, every single one of them. So Patty's never got knocked out. He's been rocked. He's definitely been rocked, but he's always rallied back. Always rallied back. Always rallied back. And I mean, you could argue that he's got a better win record than in the UFC than Michael Chandler does. Honestly. Yep. Yeah, but I don't know, man. I don't know. At 38 years old, it's tough. It's tough to pick on Michael Chandler, who hasn't won a fight in 3 years. Very tough to pick it. I mean, this is probably his best shot to get a win, but 38 years old, I don't think so. Don't think so. Don't think so. I think Patty the Batty gets it done. Think Patty the Batty gets it done. Will I be surprised if Chandler catches him early with KO? Absolutely not. But as the fight goes on, that age is going to play a big factor in this fight, for sure. And you got to, I mean, there's more pop out. He loses the pop on his shots as the fight goes on. 38 years old. Yeah, man. If he doesn't knock out Patty in the first round, Patty's going to win this fight. That's my guess. I'm rolling with Patty the Batty. And now, our main event. Volk versus Lopez for the vacant featherweight strap. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting one right here. Everybody knows Diego's been fighting his ass off. One of the most active dudes. 3 fights under his belt last year. Couple ones that got switched up on him last minute. Supposed to fight Ortega. Ended up being Ige on 1 day notice. But he has looked good, man. He has looked good. He's an exciting guy when he's in there. A lot of pressure. You know, it's like a tornado when he fights. Going up against battle-tested, getting a little up there in age, 36 years old, Volkanovski, coming off of that knockout. Well, you could say 2 knockout losses, but he did take some time off, a good amount of time off this time around after the Ilya knockout. And so he's been out for a little over a year, you know, getting his mental back, which is good. But, you know, taking 2 back-to-back KOs like that is tough. It is very tough. I'm sure it's tough mentally, especially when you're stepping back in there against somebody who you watch their highlight reel is throwing bombs and knocking people out or rocking people silly. So it's tough. It's tough. He definitely, it's another one that I see like I think it plays out similar to kind of how I was the last fight we just talked about. If Lopez doesn't catch Volk early, because you know Volk's got the experience, 5-round experience, done it a million times, different countries, short notice, all that good stuff. We know Volk can go 5 rounds, no problem, high level. You know, we don't know if Diego can. And as fights have gone on, Diego slows down. It's on tape. I'm not making this shit up. But he's gonna have to catch Volk early with something, which I think he could. They got Volk as the favorite. They're leaning on his experience and him being able to avoid, something crazy. But I don't know, man. It's just the way Diego fights, man. He just gets people in these phone booth moments and ends up usually cracking the guy with the better shot, and the dude's either backing up, falling down, getting saved by the bell, whatever the hell it is. But he always, in all his fights, man, he has those moments, and he usually catches guys, bro. He usually catches guys, and that's what I'm worried about for Mr. Volk. That's what I'm worried about, Mr. Volk, man. It's tough. It's tough. And this year's been a lot of the, old guard losing. But yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. And Drake did bet on Volk as well. I don't know how I feel about that one. Take that with a grain of salt, if you will. But yeah, I don't know, man. The way it's different if you're fighting a guy who's, trying to be a kickboxer, or, Diego's freaking all gas, bro. No brakes. Doesn't give you a chance to breathe, and it's coming down your neck. And though I do think if it does go the distance, Volk's probably got a better chance, but I think with the different, those phone booth moments he creates, I think Diego gets it done. I think Diego gets it done. And new. Well, one of them is going to be and new, but I think we get some new blood at the top. And then that kind of freshens up the division too, because Volk's pretty much fought everybody in the division at this point. Who would he fight next versus somebody like Diego? You got a great matchup with Movzar you could set up right there. Them guys hate each other. It's a good rematch that you could set up. You got some other good things on. I mean, you could give Volk Movzar too, but I think there's more storyline with Diego with their history and him taking that first fight on Diego taking that first fight on short notice and almost beating Movzar, taking his almost. I think it was questionable. It's questionable, but that's what I got. Fight start in a few hours, so don't forget to get all your pick'ems in. My server, Strike server. Should be some good ones. And with that said, we gotta run this pay-per-view code. Well, yeah, Movzar was in camp, but he was in camp. Diego came off the couch. He was not even signed by the UFC. Came off the couch. They did switch his opponent, sure, but difference between being in camp and coming, getting a call. Hey, we need you to fight in the UFC next week. Okay, I'll be there. So we're gonna run this bad boy. Don't forget, get your 314s in the chat. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Should be a fun card, man. Should be a fun card. I'm excited for it. Top to bottom, it should be fun. Good luck, everybody. I'm going to run this bad boy in 3, 2, 1. And the winner is Dark Vengeance. Congratulations, my brother. We'll get you guys squared away with those on Discord. All right. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Thank you all for hopping on today. Should be a good one. Should be a good one tonight for sure. Until next time, I am out of here, y'all. Peace.
The guy named Diddley had a dream so big it made him feel all giddy. He loved UFC, the fights and the thrills, so he started a podcast to share all the chills. Oh, Diddley's on the mic with the final strike, talking UFC, NFTs all night. From the octagon to the blockchain, he's got the hype. Tune in, listen up, it's the final strike. Down the fights, every punch and kick, analyze the moves, every trick and flick, comparing each fighter, their strengths and flaws. Diddley's insights would leave you in awe. Oh, Diddley's on the mic with the final strike, talking UFC, NFTs all night. From the octagon to the blockchain, he's got the hype. Tune in, listen up, it's the final strike. Every punch and kick, analyze the moves, every trick and flick, comparing each fighter, their strengths and flaws. Diddley's insights will leave you in awe. Oh, Diddley's on the mic with the final strike, talking UFC, NFTs all night. From the octagon to the blockchain, he's got the hype. Tune in, listen up, it's the final strike. NFTs and fighters, a digital blend. Diddley's got the scoop, he's always on trend. From rare collectibles to the latest bout, the Final Strike podcast, there's never a doubt. From afar they gather around for Diddley's insights, the best in town. With every episode his fame would grow. The Final Strike podcast, the ultimate show. Even when the market's tough and times are lean, Diddley's resilience shines, he's always keen. Through highs and lows he stands his ground. In the world of UFC he's renowned. Oh, Diddley's on the mic with the final strike, talking UFC, NFTs all night. From the octagon to the blockchain, he's got the hype. Tune in, listen up, it's the final strike. Podcast stream, bringing UFC and NFTs to the mainstream. With every word he lights up the night. The Final Strike podcast shining so bright.